Do you still translate everything in your head before you speak English?
You know the words. You understand the question, but when it's your turn to speak, suddenly you need a few seconds to build the sentence in your head.
And sometimes, by the time you've translated everything, the conversation has already moved on.
If that sounds familiar, don't worry. You're not bad at English. Your brain is simply used to processing English through your first language.
And in today's episode, we're going to show you how to gradually break that habit and start connecting English directly with meaning.
And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today.
We'll show you why translation happens and what you should do instead, and some practical exercises you can start using today.
So, if you understand English but still struggle to speak quickly,
Stay with us, because by the end of this episode, you'll have a much clearer idea of how to change that habit.
welcome back to Everyday English 123 podcast.
Let's get into it.
Emma, why does this happen to so many English learners?
Because translation is often the first method we use when learning a language. For example, you learn the word hungry. Your brain connects it with the word in your first language.
So, when you want to say, I'm hungry, you don't immediately think about the feeling of hunger.
Right, you first think of the word in your own language, then find the English word, and finally build the sentence.
That's a lot of work for one simple sentence.
Exactly, and that's why your speaking becomes slow.
So, the problem isn't that we don't know enough English.
Not always. Sometimes we know enough English, but our brain hasn't learned to process it directly yet.
That's an important difference.
Here's the first thing I want English learners to change. Don't try to translate every individual word.
What should they do instead?
Learn phrases and ideas as complete units. For example, don't just memorize the word decision. Learn a phrase like, I haven't made a decision yet.
So, when you need that idea, you'll remember the whole expression.
Exactly. Instead of building the sentence word by word, your brain starts remembering the pattern.
That's much faster.
And this is where something called a chunk becomes useful. In language learning, a chunk is a group of words that we commonly use together as one expression.
For example, I'm not sure if.
Exactly. You don't have to create that sentence from scratch every time. You can learn the chunk. I'm not sure if, then simply add your idea.
I'm not sure if I can come.
I'm not sure if she's available.
I'm not sure if that's the right answer.
See how useful that is? You learn one pattern, and suddenly you can create many sentences.
But what if someone doesn't know enough English to think in English?
That's where people make another mistake. They try to think in advanced English.
That's difficult.
Very difficult. If you want to say, I am feeling exhausted today because I couldn't sleep properly last night. Don't try to create a perfect advanced sentence immediately. Start simple.
I'm a little tired. I didn't sleep well last night.
Exactly. That's perfectly good English.
So, thinking in English doesn't mean thinking in complicated English.
Exactly. It means thinking directly in simple English.
That's actually a relief.
It should be. You don't need to sound like a professor when you're ordering coffee.
Okay, let's give our listeners something practical. How can they actually train their brain to think in English?
Start with something very simple. Describe what you see.
Describe what you see.
Yes, look around your room and describe things in English. For example, there's a window next to my desk. My phone is on the table. I'm sitting on a chair.
So you're connecting the real object directly with English.
Exactly. You're not thinking of the word in your first language first. You're looking at the object and connecting it directly with the English word.
That sounds simple enough to practice every day.
And you can make it more challenging as you improve. Instead of saying, there's a cup, say, there's a cup of coffee sitting next to my laptop.
Now you're practicing longer patterns without translating every word.
Exactly.
Here's another question. What about listening? Should learners translate what native speakers say in their heads?
No. That's another habit you want to gradually reduce.
But sometimes I hear a sentence and immediately want to know the exact meaning.
That's normal. But instead of translating every word, try to understand the overall meaning.
Can you give us an example?
Sure. Imagine someone says, I'm running late. I'll be there in a few minutes. Don't need to translate every single word. You just need to understand. They're late and they'll arrive soon.
So we're focusing on the message rather than the individual words.
Exactly. That's how real-time communication works.
Actually, that's a great expression to learn.
Yes, I'm running late. It means you're going to arrive later than you expected.
Example, sorry, I'm running late. I'll be there in 10 minutes.
That's a phrase worth remembering as a complete chunk. Don't memorize only late. Learn I'm running late.
And when you actually need it, the whole phrase comes to your mind naturally.
Exactly.
By the way, if you're a B1-B2 English learner, how much of today's conversation can you understand without translating?
And if you're finding this episode useful, don't forget to like this episode, leave a comment, and subscribe to Everyday English 123 podcast.
In the comments, tell us one English sentence you often translate in your head.
Maybe we'll use some of your examples in a future episode. Now, let's continue because there's one more important habit you need to build. One of the easiest ways to train your brain is to talk to yourself.
Some people might think that's strange.
Maybe at first, but it's incredibly useful. You don't need a speaking partner. You can talk about what you're doing.
For example, if I'm making breakfast, I can say, I'm making some coffee. I need to find my mug. I think I'll have some toast too.
Exactly. And if you're getting ready to go outside, I need to find my keys. Where did I put them? Oh, they're on the table.
That's actually the kind of English we use every day.
Exactly. You're training your brain to produce English without waiting for someone else to ask you a question.
But what happens when you don't know a word?
This is extremely important. Don't stop speaking just because you don't know one word. Learn to paraphrase. Paraphrase means expressing the same idea using different words.
So if I don't know the word kettle, I can say, the thing we use to boil water.
Exactly. You may not know the exact word, but you can still communicate.
That's actually what fluent speakers do sometimes.
Of course, even native speakers forget words. They just explain the idea in another way.
So instead of thinking, I don't know this word so I can't speak, think, how else can I explain it?
Yes, that's a huge step towards speaking more naturally.
There's another thing that slows people down.
Perfectionism?
Exactly. People want to create the perfect sentence before they say anything.
And that makes speaking exhausting.
So what should they do?
Say the simple version first. For example, instead of spending 10 seconds trying to create a perfect sentence, just say, I don't agree with that, because then continue.
You can always improve your sentence later.
Exactly. Communication comes first. Accuracy improves with practice.
So fluency isn't about speaking without pauses.
Right. It's about being able to keep expressing yourself even when you don't know the perfect word.
Emma, let's give everyone a challenge they can start today.
Okay, for the next 7 days, spend just 5 minutes a day thinking in English.
What should they do during those 5 minutes?
First minute, describe what you can see. Second minute, describe what you're doing. Third minute, talk about what you did today. Fourth minute, talk about what you're going to do tomorrow. And during the fifth minute,
What do they do?
ask yourself questions and answer them in English.
For example,
What was the best part of my day? Then answer. The best part of my day was.
that's actually a really simple way to practice speaking.
And the best part is, you don't need a textbook. You don't need a partner. You don't even need an internet connection.
Just 5 minutes a day.
Exactly.
So Emma, if you had to give one piece of advice to someone who always translates in their head, what would it be?
Stop trying to translate everything. Start connecting English with meaning. Look at an object and name it in English. Feel something and describe it in English. Have a thought and try to express it in simple English.
And when you don't know a word?
Don't panic, paraphrase.
And when you make a mistake?
Keep going.
And when your English sounds simple?
That's okay. Simple English that you can use confidently is much more valuable than complicated English that you can't say.
I really like that.
And remember, you don't become fluent because you suddenly stop translating one day. You become fluent because you gradually train your brain to think, understand, and respond in English.
One phrase at a time.
One conversation at a time.
And one mistake at a time.
Exactly.
If today's episode helped you, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share it with another English learner.
And tell us in the comments, do you still translate in your head when you speak English?
We'd love to hear about your experience.
Thanks for spending these 10 minutes with us.
Keep practicing.
Keep thinking in English.
And most importantly,
Don't wait until your English is perfect to start speaking.
See you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone.